Hello, groovers and shakers. Welcome to the four-poster bed. I just sold a little piano thing on Marketplace. My initial foray into Marketplace selling my shit has been really successful in terms of it has enabled me to pay for the revamp of the TV studio. So I'm sort of broken even on that. I'm really pleased, because when you invest in yourself and your hardware and your software and your products for being an online icon, you can spend an awful lot of money trying to prepare. And so much of it goes to waste, frankly, especially if you don't succeed. But anyway, I've got a beautiful kitchen out of it, absolutely beautiful. So even if my cookery show falls flat on its face, I have improved my life because I'm a bit overwhelmed with my kitchen. So I've gone for the yellow and black. A few accidents. I've broken a few things trying to... it's very difficult in a small space when you're a bit, not too experienced. What I would have done ordinarily is get the designers in and said, do this for me. But that's just not possible, not worth it. With business, you have to do things, I think, that, you can get what's the word? Recompense yourself. You can reclaim the money. There's no point in a business venture putting all of your own money into on a whimsy. No point at all. Now, if you've got some venture capitalist who's mug enough, fair enough. Or if you've got some investor who isn't going to take you to the cleaners when it starts making money, fair enough. But business ideas to me come thick and fast, almost on a daily basis. So for me, I have discovered that risking everything for a business idea that I do believe in but may not work is not going to pay off, because I'm 61 and I've failed at very many businesses. So, I've never spent all of my money setting up a business. Well, actually, that's a lie. I think back in the day when I was in retail, I did. The thing with retail is if you're a producer, a retail /producer, so you produce your own stock, it's much easier to fall in love with your product and just so believe in it that you can't understand why nobody would want this thing in their house. That you can be foolhardy with your funds, and you can spend everything you've got on a location. And I have done that before. The last time I did it was on a music venue. My product was the radio station and a media production company, I guess we'd call it. And the venue was just at a time, it was before COVID, about 2016, 2017, but at a time really when venue legislation was really coming down on sort of built-up areas. So you can never predict really what your government's going to do, what the local council is going to do. And I really felt that. So business went bust, completely tits up. But the other thing I'd been doing, and I've done it 2 or 3 times, I've relied on an unsustainable business model. So, one business I had, which was like an aquarium. This is years back, when I was in my 20s maybe. An aquarium with, and it was one of my father's properties, so we just never paid him the rent. And it was unsustainable because we were living rent-free. And the thing with that is, at some point, you're no longer living rent-free, or your peppercorn rent is not realistic. And of course, when he went, they emigrated to Africa, and suddenly things were no longer sustainable, So you've got to bear that in mind. It's the longevity, I guess. And really, over the last couple of years, because I'm in this 5-year business plan, I've really started to understand longevity and see the picture for what happens in 5 years, 10 years, So this is my 4th year. So I should be seeing profit. I should be seeing something that's sustainable. Sustainability is really the core of what I believe in this year. But that means not investing ridiculous amounts of money in the process. So my live workspace is, the TV studio. I've got all the equipment I need. and I've paid for it by selling a sofa. So, a bit more than that. I just sold a piano. So yeah, I'm quite thrilled actually that that's all gone to plan, and aiming to start this week. Hello, Romeo. There we go. Jump over the microphone. Why don't you? So I'm starting this week. But today I need to do the dance studio. So I need to just give the floor a lick of paint so it looks really, really lovely on cam. Yesterday I was playing around with my webcam, which I bought ages ago. Actually, when I bought my Micro Freak, these were things that I've barely used, but I will be using now. Now that I've got the TV studio, we'll be doing some live stuff. Really excited about that. It's been a couple of months of really hard slog, making sure everything is just tweaked so. And as I say, when you're doing things yourself and you don't want to invest funds, you have to do things yourself, and they do take longer. They take much longer. But I think I've had my TV station for 2 months now, and I've given myself a year, so that's okay. If things are unsustainable in a year, I have to go back to YouTube, basically. I have to rethink. But, once you've got the videos, you've got the videos. They're all there. Everything is on YouTube anyway. They're just not available for the public. So, really, Vimeo offers me another avenue to explore. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I've lost a year's subscription to Vimeo, which was about £200, I think. But I've already, on month to month, broken even. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to be in profit anyway. So that's a really good way of looking at things. Don't look at profit, I would say, when you're dealing with media in the first month, unless your costs are done monthly. So, for example, my annual subscription, which I had to pay in advance, I'm not saying I need to make that in a month. I've got a year to pay myself back. Do you see what I mean? It's false economy if you're thinking, well, I need to make that in the first month. You don't. You've got a year to make that back. So, you might think that's massaging the figures, but it really isn't. And also, I'm 4 years in, and I was funded by the Futures Venture Foundation. I will never make that money back. It was, a lot of money, and I bought all the equipment, but I've still got, actually, most of it I've still got. So that's really good. Hardware is something in the digital age that you will require. Software, you will require. So it's obviously it's much cheaper all in all than a venue, which, may cost you 20, 30, 40, 50 grand a year, may cost you 200 grand a year. That's a whole different thing. And it's been lovely not to have to worry about a venue. I never want to go there again. So my venue is my living room, which is now a kitchen, TV studio and dance studio, TV studio. So, I've been quite, the penthouse has been good for that. So I painted the cupboard yellow because they really spoke to me, and I had a pot of yellow paint. But I made a terrible mistake. I thinned it down with white spirit and then red on the back. I'd read that you can clean your brushes with white spirit, but not that you can water it down. And what it does is it makes it matte. So it turned from this beautiful high gloss to this matte streaky affair. So I've got to find another pot of this paint. But I got it at Poundland, and it's special paint for fluorescent signs. So I'm going to go online and see if I can find another little pot of it, get that delivered, touch up my cupboards again. My Tank Girl painting fell down because it said on the back of the command strips, do not use on paint for the first 7 days after painting. And I thought, well, I need it for the photographs. So stupidly, and I did, and it fell down. So I smashed the glass, but that's okay. I can get a piece of Perspex, which will be much lighter. What else did I break? I broke a lovely rose teacup as well, bone china. That's the same incident. It fell on top of the cup. Today's all about sort of cleaning and sprucing and just really making things look lovely. I've made the piano look gorgeous. And I've been using my webcam, which I haven't really used before. And the webcam can be used on the kitchen and on the Keep Fit. So on both of those. So that's really cool as well. And I've got a lovely screen I bought, which sections off the kitchen when not in use. So yeah, I'm ready to go, except for the sprucing up of the paint and just touching up where the paint has been chipped on the floor. Because the thing with the camera is it picks up things that you don't see with the naked eye because you're distracted by other exciting things. The camera, unfortunately, a bit like a microphone, it pinpoints things all at the same level. So things, the eye distributes evenly around by the sort of not the millisecond and the millimetre, in distance, not millimetre, more even smaller than that. In camera world, you're automatically drawn to the lightest areas. In real world, I think you're automatically drawn to the most exciting areas, the busy areas. So you'd sort of look around, like, oh, what am I looking at? What am I looking at? Do you see what I mean? You wouldn't necessarily look straight out the window, which is nice and bright. You see? It's interesting. And a consequence of that is that you can see finger marks, blobs, white distracting bits and pieces, dust, hair, all of these things. You can see them much more, they're more accentuated on film. You wouldn't notice probably in a room that somebody had a cat's hair on their jumper, but you would in a movie. Do you see? It's really annoying actually, because I've got a white Persian cat. Can you imagine? So I have to hoover regularly and just go around. I'll tell you a really good way of getting cat fur off of things. Rubber glove, washing up glove, and just make it damp, and then rub the offending articles. So if it's a jacket, you can just rub it. You have to keep wetting the rubber glove, but it gets everything off. It's perfect. I had a friend in Brighton who told me that. It's just brilliant, really, for... interestingly, I had two white cats, many years ago when I ran the club, and I was completely immune to cat fur. And I look back now at when I'm wearing black, and it's covered in cat fur. And I just think, oh my God, what was I thinking? I didn't even notice. Of course, now I can touch things up because I have my magic pen. Finished my artwork, it's called. I'm really pleased with it. Guys, it's a fantastic piece of work. Even though I say so myself, it's taken weeks. And the other thing I was doing yesterday was using a sort of Photoshop method, but I used Premiere, but it's basically Photoshopping. And I was using drawings and paintings and putting my granddaughter's faces on them. And I did two very beautiful ones. One for my granddaughter's birthday, which I need to finish today, of her riding a polar bear. It's stunning, absolutely stunning. And another I did of my other granddaughter, but she's got to wait till her birthday, which is of her riding a ladybird on a mushroom. Also absolutely beautiful. It's my new thing, Photoshopping. I had no idea I'd be any good at it, but I am. And the reason I'm so good at it is because I chop the photo and then I blend using my pen by hand, and it gives it a much more human quality. It's actually superb, a superb way. I love Procreate. I could not live without my Procreate brushes. They've changed my life. They've changed my artistic processes. They really have. Wonderful. I love it, love it, love it. But I use it as an artist, I don't use it like these marketers. These marketeers, is that what you say? People that you get on Fiverr who say, yeah, I can do that, it's going to be £100. And then what they produce is crap, because all they do is cut, paste, maybe some blur, a little bit of blur, or, they don't know the intricacies. They haven't got a paintbrush with a human hand. And you can tell the difference, I promise you. Right, I've done a poem already. It's called She. I'll read it in a minute. I'll recite it. I'm going to go and get some food. It's early in the morning. I want to get there before the crowds. Oh, they don't open till 10. Darn it. Oh, God. How annoying. This is the problem with being an early riser. You're up before anybody else, and shops aren't open yet. Have a great Sunday, guys. iServalan.com, obviously, telltellerclub.com, and pop over to my Twitter. I've put the poem up. She is on my Twitter. Both of them, Marchioness of Dorchester and, of course, the Tellteller Club over there on Twitter. Much love. Let's hope not too many warring people